A lot of people love Blake Shelton's country music. Fans are interested in more than just Blake Shelton's music, though. Some news sources say there is a shocking story about Blake Shelton and his third wife, Gwen Stefani. Is this marriage going to end too, like his other two? Now that the couple has talked about the rumors, fans can't wait to hear what they have to say. What did they say? Discover more in this movie as we look into Blake Shelton's life, his work, his wife Gwen, and the stories that surround them. Blake Shelton was born in Ada, Oklahoma on June 18, 1976. His parents are Dorothy Ann Shelton and Richard Lee Shelton. It was common for the Shelton family to enjoy music together, and Blake was especially good at it. To help his nephew follow his dream, Shelton's uncle taught him how to play the guitar when he was 12 years old. Blake was happy and his music grew, but he was also sad at times. His brother Richie died in a terrible car crash, which was a terrible loss for him. Blake kept going even though he had lost something important in his work and continued to get better. He chose to make music his job after high school, so he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and in 1997 signed a record deal with Sony Music. Blake signed with Giant Records in 2001, but things didn't go well at first. Why? The record company turned down the song he wanted to use as his 2001 first single. The song was sung by someone else and it became a big hit. Shelton finally made a new song, and as soon as it came out, Giant Records shut down. What did the good singer do next? He was moved to Warner Brothers Records, which was Giant Records' parent business. What seemed like a loss turned out to be one of the best things that could have happened to him. The song Austin became a big hit and topped the Billboard Hot Country Singles and Tracks chart. Shelton wanted to build on the success of the single, so he released an album called Shelton. It did well in the market, but reviewers had different thoughts about it. The record, especially Austin, got good reviews from music reviewer Maria Kiki Denoya. Scott Holwood, on the other hand, didn't enjoy it as much. When Shelton's second record, The Dreamer, came out in 2003, it got the same kind of attention as the first one. It produced a #1 song called The Baby. Other singles didn't make it to the top, but the album was certified gold. Later that same year, Shelton married Kay, the woman he had been seeing for a long time, Beach Gurn, on November 17, 2003. They learned that being married was tough. Blake Shelton's Barn and Grill, Shelton's third record, came out in 2004. Another #1 hit from the album was Some Beach. Another hit from the album was a cover of Conway Twitty's Goodbye Time, which made it to the top 10. Blake Shelton's Barn and Grill went platinum, just like its predecessor. It was official. Shelton was a celebrity. He was also on TV. His success at work didn't show up in his personal life, though, as he and Kay in 2006, TG got a divorce. What made Shelton and Kay split up after dating for a long time? Reports say that Shelton met Miranda Lambert at the 100 Greatest Duets show on CMT in 2005. Did love begin between these two? They worked together on a song called Home, which was a cover of the same-named Michael Bublé song. People loved the song so much that it went straight to the top of the Hot Country Songs list. Did something happen between them that made KTG and Shelton split up? Blake started going out with Lambert in 2006 after his split from KTG didn't hurt his business. He was even on a roll when his fourth solo record, Pure BS, came out early in 2007. The first two songs from the record, Don't Make Me and The More I Drink, both made it into the top 20 of the country charts, peaking at number 12 and 19 respectively. Along with more TV shows, he continued to have singing success, with a string of #1 hits. The singer worked with some other great artists. He sang a duet with Trace Adkins called Hillbilly Bone. This song was the lead single from Shelton's EP Hillbilly Bone, which came out in March 2010 on Reprise Records Nashville. The artist asked Miranda Lambert to marry him in May, and they did. They got married in 2011. Could what happened at the wedding have something to do with the rumor? We'll still talk about that. It was in 2011 that Shelton became a coach. He stopped using his voice to amaze people and started teaching the next generation of musicians as a judge and coach on the NBC reality show The Voice. It wasn't that the singer was giving up his art. In that year, he put out an album called Red River Blue. The first song on it, Honeybee, was a big hit and broke records. It went to #1 and became the fastest-selling country song by a male singer. It also joined Shelton's list of songs that have reached that spot. God Gave Me You and Drink on It, two other songs from that record, also made it to #1. Blake was loving his newfound success when another tragedy happened. His father passed away after a long battle with illness. How did this make the singer feel? For Shelton, the horror was over and he came back to work. It was his then wife who sang about his loss in the song Over You. The song was so popular that it won CMA Song of the Year in 2012 and the 2013 Academy of Country Music Awards for both Single Record and Song of the Year. That wasn't the last time he worked with Miranda Lambert. In 2012, they played together at the Super Bowl. They got a divorce 3 years later, which was sad. What could have made this happen? The couple talked about what went wrong that caused them to split up. They said, "This is not the future we envision, and it is with heavy hearts that we move forward separately. We're real people with real lives, along with real family, friends, and co-workers. Therefore, we kindly ask for privacy and understanding in this very private matter." After the divorce, Shelton made fans angry in 2016 when some of his old posts on X, which used to be Twitter, came back to the public. People in the gay community found the posts insulting and cruel. This got the singer into trouble, so she quickly deleted the tweets in 2016 and said she was sorry. "Everyone knows comedy has been a major part of my career, and it's always been out there for anyone to see," he added. "However, anyone who knows me knows I don't stand for any kind of hate. Is my humor sometimes corny and childish? Yes. Is it hateful? No, never. That being said, I'm deeply sorry to anyone who was offended," he wrote. Shelton was still dealing with a few problems, which was not good. In the music business, he had to deal with other artists. He lost his string of 5 straight #1 songs, but he quickly got it back. Shelton had a lot of ability, and he would have to do even better to fall out of the top spot. Shelton made a lot of important accomplishments to country music, so the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum opened a show about his life called Blake Shelton, based on a true story, in June 2016. From his childhood in Oklahoma to becoming a star in Nashville, the exhibit showed his story. It focused on his time as a teacher on The Voice as a turning point in his career. Shelton proved that he is a star when he joined 30 other artists on the track Forever Country, which was made to honor the 50th anniversary of the CMA Awards. The single, which was a mix of old country hits, went straight to the top of Billboard's Hot Country Songs list. His skills as a teacher on The Voice were further recognized when Sundance Head, a member of his team, was named the Season 11 winner. He brought Shelton more praise the next year, when his wax figure made its debut at Madame Tussauds Nashville, and he was named a Creativity Ambassador in Oklahoma. His winning run on The Voice kept going in season 13, with Chloe Kohansky being on the winning team. With the lead song, I'll Name the Dogs, from his 11th studio album Texoma Shore, which came out in November 2017, Shelton went back to his roots in singing. I Lived It, the album's second song, was played on country radio in January 2018, which was another big step forward in his great music career. Shelton had everything he needed, but he was still looking for love. He found it in Gwen Stefani, with whom he worked on The Voice in 2015. Gwen saved my life. Who else on earth could understand going through a high-profile divorce from another musician? You can't even imagine the similarities in our divorces, Shelton told us. So what's the word on these two? Who is Gwen Stefani? She is an American singer, songwriter, actress, fashion designer, and businessman, in case you didn't know. Let's hear her story now. Dennis Stefani and Patty Flynn Stefani had Gwen Stefani on October 3, 1969, in Fullerton, California. Her dad was a marketing manager for Yamaha, and her mom used to be an accountant before she became a housewife. She has a brother named Eric and two younger siblings named Jill and Todd. Eric was the one who got her started in singing. In 1986, he showed her ska music by bands like Madness and The Selector. Then he asked her to join No Doubt, a ska band he had put together. In the beginning, it was hard for No Doubt to find their balance. In 1991, they signed with Interscope Records, and in 1992, their self-titled debut record came out. The album wasn't a big hit, but Stefani's career took a big turn for the better with their third record in 1995. It took more than 3 years to finish the record, and it had hit songs like Don't Speak, which was #1 on the Hot 100 Airplay year-end chart in 1997. As No Doubt's fame grew, so did Stefani's, as the record did well. Stefani worked with other acts as well. She was on songs by Moby, Eve, and the Brian Setzer Orchestra. However, No Doubt started having problems again when their next records, Return of Saturn and Rocksteady, didn't do well at the stores because fans didn't like their new sound. Stefani cared a lot about that sound because her music shows her fears, experiences, and relate. The singer started going out with her bandmate Tony Cannell after he joined the group. But they broke up in the end, which almost killed the band but made Stefani write many songs. She would do this again and again. After her split with Cannell, the singer started going out with Gavin Rossdale, who was the lead singer and guitarist for Bush. They got married in 2002. They had 3 boys together, but Stefani asked for a divorce in 2015. It was the same year that Blake Shelton's second marriage ended. Stefani got divorced in 2016, but she quickly fell in love with Blake Shelton. Stephanie forgot about her issues with love and focused on her work as a single artist. There were new songs from her, like Baby Don't Lie and Spark the Fire, and she worked on her third studio record. Additionally, she worked with Eminem on Kings Never Die and released a new song called Used to Love You, which was influenced by her breakup with Gavin Rossdale. This Is What the Truth Feels Like was released in 2016 and went straight to the top of the Billboard 200. Stefani went on tour with Eve to promote it. The actress was interested in more than just singing. When the chance came up, she tried her hand at voice acting and did the voice of a character in the cartoon movie Trolls. But singing would always be the most important thing to Stefani. She kept working in the music business, and when she was on the documentary series The Defiant Ones, she said she was going to put out new songs. You Make It Feel Like Christmas is the name of her holiday record. Stefani also kept working as a coach on The Voice. She stayed on the show for multiple seasons, helping bright singers get better, and eventually winning with her finalist, Carter R. Her time on the show cemented her reputation as a well-liked and recognized figure in the music business. Stefani stayed close with her boyfriend Blake Shelton, and the two of them worked together a few times. They worked together on the song Go Ahead and Break My Heart before they started dating in 2015. Then in 2019, they worked together on the hit song Nobody But You. This song made them even more popular as a powerful pair. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they also put out another song called Happy Anywhere, which had a message of hope and strength. When it comes to the pandemic, it messed up a lot of parts of the music business, but Stefani kept working and making songs. She was on versions of Dua Lipa's songs, put out a new solo single called Let Me Reintroduce Myself, and hinted at other songs that haven't been released yet. Shelton and Stefani's relationship kept getting stronger. Something magical took place between them on October 27, 2020. A church on Shelton's Oklahoma farm was where he asked Stefani to marry him in front of her children and other loved ones. In 2021, they got married in the same church. Stefani stayed dedicated to her work after she got married. In 2022, she worked with Sean Paul on the upbeat and colorful song, Light My Fire. The work with other people was a nice change of pace, and it helped her discover new songs. In addition, she still works with her husband, Blake Shelton. A lot of people say that their marriage is in trouble, though. Are those stories true? A few weeks ago, Gwen Stefani talked about her marriage to Blake Shelton, and what she said shocked fans. She has finally denied reports that her marriage is having problems. The lead singer of No Doubt talked about how comfortable she was working on songs with Shelton, saying that their love and shared values made their relationship strong. As Stefani put it, nobody can get to us when we're in love and our values are truly aligned. Hey, Stefani said, you can say whatever you want about our relationship. I mean, a week ago we were getting divorced again or something. It's just lies. She was angry about the false divorce reports. The truth is the truth, and we all know what it is. That negativity would never get through just because I shared a song that I didn't write for anyone else but myself. Stefani also talked about the problems they had as a couple, admitting that she had times of insecurity that made her doubt her own abilities. She told him straight out, I had been going through those times when you're wondering, oh my gosh, am I just getting older? Am I cute? These fears, she said, seeped into her relationship with Shelton, causing needless drama even though she knew how close they were. Even though I know what's really going on today, you still make up drama in your head about your fears and what might happen. I was getting paranoid during that time in my relationship with Blake, she admitted. But Stefani later thought about these events and realized that her anxiety was mostly caused by thinking too much. The she was worried about was just a figment of her mind, she said. Shelton was just as honest as Stefani, talking about how he had felt vulnerable in their relationship. He talked about private talks he had with Stefani about their fears of getting older and losing who they are. This showed how much support and understanding they have for each other. Even though they both felt unsure, Stefani talked about how strong their marriage was and said that Shelton was her best friend. They met on the set of The Voice in 2014 and fell in love. In 2021, they got married. Stefani found a reliable partner in Shelton. She has 3 boys from her former marriage to Gavin Rossdale, named Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo. When Stefani got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Shelton gave a moving speech that made his wife cry. When he thought back to their first meeting on the set of The Voice, he vividly remembered Stefani pulling up in a black minivan loaded with child seats, which made her feel safe. Shelton's speech was an emotional celebration of Stefani's amazing career in music, TV, movies, fashion, and beauty. He joked that his love for her was even more important than the world's praise, pointing out her unique style and obvious beauty.